Good morning and welcome to Get Enlightened with me, Lauren Scott. I'm so excited, guys. I have reconnected, like we've talked about before, with Cancer Care Services with my girl, Megan. Welcome to the show, Megan.
Hey, hello everybody.
I brought her on because she works with Cancer Care Services and we reconnected with Divine Timing. She had asked me, I guess we were first connected. How many years ago? God.
Oh gosh, that was probably 2017 through the CAC, through the Children's
Yeah.
Advocacy Center there in Granbury.
When I was on the board and were you doing your college internship or were you?
No, I was a family advocate at the time. I was like on staff.
And I hadn't really talked to you since then. And then you called one me to do your retreat, and I fell in love with Cancer Care Services. And I have to say, it was a divine timing moment for me because I've been a 2-time survivor, but also because at this time I am fighting side by side with my best friend who is stage 4 lymphoma. So it has been very healing to be able to help with your retreats and with your services. And I'm so glad to have you on so you can tell everybody else the magic that y'all do.
Well, thank you, Lauren. It's such a joy to be on this podcast with you. I can't say enough how much our patients, specifically our female patients, have just totally leaned into everything that you are and request you all of the time with what you do and what you bring to the cancer world. So it's been an absolute joy to get to reconnect with you and give our girl a shout out, Holly Martin, for doing that thing. I have just the person for y'all. Holly always seems to have just the people. So
I know, she's so good. She's so good about it.
Yes, about connecting all her people through all her different journeys and walks of life she's had with her jobs and her career and all the things. And so I am so glad you've come back into my orbit and into Cancer Care's orbit, and now a lifelong friend and resource for our patients. We're really excited about that.
Well, thank you. That is the kindest thing that you could ever say to me. So I appreciate that so much. And I love those ladies.
Yeah,
I mean,
they love you.
You couldn't get rid of me if you tried, Megan.
Nope, that's not going to happen. Don't you worry. So,
Well,
yeah.
let's tell the world what exactly is Cancer Care Services, and I would love for you to share your story too, because I think your story is amazing.
Well, thank you. Yes, I'll be happy to. So Cancer Care Services is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are located here in Fort Worth, Texas. We have actually been around. We're coming up on 80 years of serving cancer patients and their loved ones. Yes, this will be our 80th anniversary coming up. And we are just so thrilled to be here in Fort Worth helping patients. And what does that look like? What is Cancer Care Services? Like I said, we are a local nonprofit here in Fort Worth, and we provide financial and emotional support and assistance to cancer patients and their loved ones. So to kind of tailor that, we have a financial assistance program. It is open to all of Tarrant County. So if you live within Tarrant County, you can qualify for financial assistance through our financial assistance program. Obviously, you have to meet different criteria for things like that, but we do offer financial assistance in ways of we help with insurance copays. We have help with medical copays. We help with transportation, getting to and from your appointments and treatments. We have a contract with the rideshare Lyft that can help you get to your appointments and treatment. We have gas cards. We have grocery cards up to $250 that we can put food on your table for your family while you're going through treatment. Yes. We will pay 6 months of your health insurance premiums. We have emergency assistance because sometimes it comes down to paying for your treatment that day or keeping your lights on. And so we want to be able to help provide that assistance for you. Because as we all know, cancer ain't cheap. It's expensive. No. And, just going through all of that, we want to be that frontline assistance that helps navigate all of that. We have close to 10 social workers on staff that are highly trained in cancer and can help you navigate through that journey and what you need and what that looks like through financial assistance and just other resources that are out there in our community.
Wow. And
Yes.
how did you get involved with them?
Yeah. So I've always tried to find purpose, passion in my purpose. And
Yeah.
I've always tried to say I've made my mess my message. And so I am actually, like you, a 2-time cancer survivor. I was 13 years old when I was diagnosed the first time. I had a rare form of pediatric cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma.
Mm.
And I went through 6 months of treatment. And at that time, after 6 months, we biopsied my tumor that they'd removed, and there were still some cancer cells lingering. So after 6 months of chemotherapy, we decided to do radiation. I had to lay flat on my back for 7 days while they injected radiation beads
Wow.
into my body. And I could not walk. I could barely move, just things like that. I had to lay flat on my back for that whole time. And then after that, we did another 6 months of chemo where I had to stay in the hospital for that duration of that chemo.
Mm.
And we went through that, and then we biopsied, and that's when we found out that the cancer was gone.
Wow.
But in order for all of that, when I was 26 years old, you know, several years down the road, they found another tumor. And
Wow.
so that tumor was a secondary tumor to my first cancer. And that is a side effect from my radiation. So cancer is one of those things I feel like it doesn't leave you, no matter whether when you're done, when you've rang the bell, it's always with you, and your body changes so much when you go through that, hence the fact that I had a secondary cancer. So
Mhm.
I've just always known since I was a kid, and being in a children's hospital and seeing social workers and child life specialists and donors and people giving back, this is what I wanted to do with my life and my career. And so, and helping families and children in some way, shape, or form. And so I landed at Cancer Care in 2018 and have never looked back. And I love it. I'm going on 8 years of being here. I celebrated 8 years in January, and it's been the greatest. And I get to do my part of cancer and cancer care services. I get to do all of our retreats like you joined us on, Lauren, and then all of our kids camps, all of our support groups, and providing that social connection to cancer patients and helping them know that they're not alone.
Well, I think you're doing an amazing job because those women, they love you. And like I said, just being around the energy of your whole staff, all of the volunteers, because can we talk about this? Being in 501c3 world, can we talk about volunteers for a minute and the
Yes,
team
we
of
can.
volunteers that you have? Because
Yes.
I have never seen such amazing women, because the women's retreat's the one that I did. So that's really the only one so far that we've done, that I've seen. But the women that have helped y'all, the 2 events that I've been at are just, even the younger women. I mean, like,
Yes,
you have great volunteers.
we
So,
do.
so if you could tell somebody if they wanted to volunteer, how did they get in touch with you? What are your socials, and what are y'all looking for?
Right. Yeah, we have wonderful volunteers. You hit the nail on the head, and I appreciate you so much for recognizing them and knowing that. We have over 100 active volunteers here at Cancer Care Services, and that's something that I am
I mean,
so
that's amazing.
yes. And so we, really honestly, I wear many hats here. So not only am I a director of programs, I'm also our volunteer coordinator. And so, you can simply email me. I don't know what the best way is since I'm new to this podcast game of getting a hold of me and doing that on here. But the best way is to email me and say, hey, Megan, I'm interested in volunteering. And I think one of the best ways to do that is by saying I think one of our best things that we have here is there's so many ways to volunteer. So if you work, say Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and you just can't take off work to volunteer, we have evening volunteer opportunities. We have weekend volunteer opportunities. Like, it's not just that typical, hey, we only have this available from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So there's the best way to is either you can go to our website, which is just cancercareservices.org. If you you can just Google Cancer Care Services. It should take you right to it. Or you can email me at megan@cancercareservices.org, and I would be happy and immediately ready to plug you in.
And do you have any socials that you would like to share, since we're kind of sharing how people can connect with you? What are your
Yeah.
socials as far as like Instagram, Facebook?
Right.
Anything
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. Of course, Cancer Care, we're on all socials. We have Cancer Care Services has a Instagram, and you can just look up, it's just Cancer Care Services. Our Facebook page, if you go to the search bar on Facebook, it's just Cancer Care Services. So we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, and we have a TikTok. And again, just searching in that search bar, Cancer Care Services, you can find us there.
And for
We're
any
pretty
of our listeners, I'm going to connect also on the summaries and with all of the shares on our social media. So you can always click on those and that'll bring you right there to them.
Yes, yes, that would be the best way. I am not very technology savvy, as I was just asking Lauren when we got on here. How do I do all of this? What do I do? So technology is not my strong suit, but yes, we are here, we are everywhere, and we are easy to get a hold of for sure. So we would love to plug you in and volunteer if you were interested.
Well, I always think that it says a lot about a 501c3 or anything that takes volunteers when you have volunteers that stay for long periods of time.
Oh, yes.
And that was something that I noticed because when I was talking to your volunteers, how they literally come and they stay. Like even some of these kids are like, we want to come back and volunteer for the summer because it's just so much fun, the different
Yes.
retreats that you do.
Yes, I truly believe if you invest in your volunteers, they'll invest in your organization. And
Amen.
yes,
Amen
I
on that.
really, yes, these, especially like you said, our young volunteers that we have, a lot of them are college students at TCU, Texas Christian University, and a lot of them are going into the medical field and want to be doctors, want to be nurses, want to be social workers, and I love that they get to see what a nonprofit organization looks like and is ran and ran well, because we do it well here. I'm going to humble brag there. We do it well here. But they do. And I make sure that after they volunteer, I send them a thank you note. I make sure they're seen and loved and noticed, and thank them profusely for coming to volunteer their time. And in turn of that, these young adults that are engaging into our world, get that exposure of seeing a cancer patient, sit down with, a sound healer or somebody like you, who they get to not only get that exposure of, yeah, they're going to treatment back and forth every day and getting this medicine pumped into their body, but what are the things that we're doing to help them walk through that journey? And that is things like, hey, we have a person that's going to come in and do meditation and do yoga and really channel that mind, body, spirit that is part of all of that to help keep their path going and crossed when they're through this journey. So it gives them that kind of exposure, and that's important when they go into the medical field and say they do become oncologists. I want these kids to know, these young volunteers to know, that it's a holistic approach, not only to medicine, and yes, we need chemotherapy and we need radiation to save our bodies, but we also need our mental health, and providing
I
that
cannot agree more.
Yes, yes, providing that service to these patients is important, and that will just make these young adults go into the world and be like, not only do they need to be treated medically well, but they need to be treated mentally health well as well.
And I think that, that's kind of going into my next question of some of the resources that people don't really think until you're in the journey, how incredibly important your mental health is.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And the more we've come so far with all of that. I remember when I was a kid, I was 13, and that was in 1999, and I wasn't asked to, as a 13-year-old trying to navigate a cancer diagnosis, I didn't see a therapist. I didn't see, it just wasn't talked about and brought up back then as it is. Fast forward almost 30 years later, and that is one of the first things that we ask. Are you seeing a therapist? How's your mental health? How's your anxiety, going through all of this? And so we've come a long way, but I love giving that exposure to young people or students or the population or doctors even that are on our board and things like that, of saying, y'all are treating them, but they are going through a lot. They need to be asked how their mental health is. They need therapist recommendations. They need somebody that can come in and do meditation with them. They need food that will fuel their body for good. All of those type of things. That's just as important as the medical part of it as well.
It really truthfully is. And, I love that y'all help with that and you do the retreats and you connect the mind, body, and soul because when in 2008, when I was going through it, my first bout, I didn't tell anybody. I did the
Yeah,
whole journey, just me and Sean, because we had just had a baby 8 weeks before and he was a little miracle. And like, I already felt, I didn't want people to feel like I was weak or feel sorry for me, if that makes,
sure.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so
Yes.
I didn't have the backing. The second time going through it, the backing is really what helped me get through it, and as my best friend Jana's going through cancer and with lymphoma, it's a week at a time and chemo in the hospital, very much like yours. She gets she gets chemo in her brain. So she has to lay down flat for hours at a time. And,
Uh-huh.
the person that you are when you enter it and the person that you are when you exit it are two totally different people.
Yes,
And you really,
1000%.
you really need a community to help with that. And Cancer Care Services is that community. I
Well,
mean,
thank you.
I just can't say any more positive things about you. I love y'all. I love
Yeah.
y'all. I love
Yes,
what you do.
thank you so much. It is a great community. And I truly enjoy our environment at this office, at this workspace is wonderful too. Like I truly enjoy coming to work every day. I truly enjoy getting to see my coworkers because we're all in this together and we're all each day trying to make cancer a little less scary, cancer a little less burdensome, cancer a little
Mhm.
less financially unstable, things like that. And it is truly a gift to get to do this work every day. And I'm very thankful that I get to do it.
Yes. Now, the most important resources that people don't realize are available. I don't know why I'm having such a tough time right now to them after a cancer diagnosis are, um, that's the other scary part. And we kind of talked about it, the financial part of it. And not
Mm-hmm.
only do you have the social work, you have the help with the finances and things like that. So how exactly, besides, do they just contact you and do an application and y'all start from there? Um, is there anything
That's
else that,
Yeah, you could be a social worker because you just hit the nail on the head right there. But yes, basically, if you know anybody or if anybody listening to this is needing help, is needing resources, we are here for you. And I think the beauty of our social work team is, yes, our financial assistance is to Tarrant County only. However, if you need help, we also have case management. And what that means is you can still work with a social worker and say, hey, I live in Dallas County, I live in another state, whatever that looks like. We can still work with you and make sure you're getting resources to where you're at. We will meet you where you're at. But to say all of that, yes, we have a referral form online
okay.
on our website. And if you can navigate the internet well, if you can't, that's okay. But there is a red get help button on our website, and you just click that button, and it'll take you right to an application that you will fill out. And within 3 days, a social worker is calling you, and we are working services with you, and whatever that looks like for you. Whether that is if you are local to Tarrant County and need financial assistance with us, whether you live in another state and are just saying, hey, I don't know what I have here where I'm at. Could you help me find some resources here? Then our social workers will work with you guys where you're at and get you resources in your state, in your city, in your town, and things of that nature. It's just a twofold right there, and we can get you that help just wherever you're at. We will meet you where you are at.
And does it matter what kind of cancer or what stage they're in, or does that cancer
Yeah,
is cancer?
that's a great question, Lauren, and it doesn't. I always say we see and treat patients 0 to 99. So it doesn't
Okay.
matter if you are a child, and it does not matter if you are an 85-year-old who decided that you want to strap up and do chemo. It doesn't matter if you're a young adult who's 20. It doesn't matter if you're a 40-year-old woman who's going through breast cancer. We meet you where you're at. So it does not matter your age. It does not matter your stage. It does not matter on any of that. And here at Cancer Care, we truly believe that cancer doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, straight, whatever that looks like to you, cancer doesn't discriminate, and we're going to meet you where you're at with the needs that you need from us at that time.
Oh, I love that. Cancer doesn't discriminate.
Yes, yes, that's what
Love
I've
this.
always said because
I feel that needs to be a shirt, girl. Y'all need merch.
right? Yes, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Like it doesn't discriminate, and doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. If you get cancer, you get cancer, and we are here to put any bias aside and just walk you through that journey with where you're at in your life.
And one of the things that I think is so important for people to understand is the people that are going through it with you are having their own experience. Do
Yes.
y'all also help those that are fighting with them, their family members, with counseling services?
Yes, we do. That is a great question that you asked. We have we call it a caregiver series. It's a 6-week series. So not only are we taking, that's a great question, Lauren. I'm glad that you asked that because not only are we taking care of the patient, we want to be taking care of you, the caregivers and the family members that are walking through this with you because we see all the time that our caregivers can get just as burnt out as our patients do, and they don't know how to take care of themselves because they are in fight or flight with their patient and the one that they're taking care of, and sometimes they won't take care of themselves. Well, in order to be able to take care of the patient, they have to also take care of themselves. And so we do a caregiver series. It's a 6-week series where you go through it with social workers and you learn tips and tools and resources and do activities that go directly with the caregiver and what that looks like. So we have that available. We have other resources and counseling services that we can provide for caregivers specifically. Now I can't talk specifically. And yeah, that's okay. And we approach the cancer journey as a whole with the entire family or your entire pod of what that looks like and who's helping you navigate this journey.
And I love the retreats. Talk a little bit before our last empowerment question about the retreats that y'all have, because when we were talking about me doing more and more, you're like, I need you for all of these retreats. And I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all offer so many from
Yes.
families. So talk about
Yes.
your retreats and what y'all have coming up.
Yes. Okay. So we have retreats for just about every age group now. So in the summertime, we have a full-blown camp for kids. It's called Camp Care, and it's for kids who have a loved one affected by cancer. So what we've learned is these kids that see their parent going through this, that's not easy for them. And sometimes the parents don't know how to talk to the kids or how to explain to them what's going on. So we do a camp in the summertime for kids specifically ages 5 to 12 who have a loved one going through cancer, and we provide a week-long camp for them, and they get to go canoeing and go fishing and go hiking and do all of that kind of stuff, along with learning how to cope with their big feelings and emotions that they have watching a parent, a grandparent, a sibling go through cancer. So that's our big camp that we have. And then throughout the year, we have retreats like you were talking about, like the one that you just went to, the Bluebonnet retreat. We have that one that's in the fall. We're getting ready to do one for young adults specifically, so that whole age group of 18 to 35. We have a young adult retreat that's coming up that we're getting ready to do as well. And then later on in the summer, we have a retreat just for teenagers, so that whole age group of 13 to 17, just for teens specifically. And then we have one more retreat that's a whole family retreat. So your whole family gets to come out to YMCA Camp Carter here in Fort Worth and get to be in nature for the weekend and just be together as a family and not think about cancer for the weekend.
Just so amazing, Megan. And your heart. And how many years are you cancer free?
Oh my gosh. For my first diagnosis, I just hit 27. And I know for my second diagnosis, it's almost 20 years from that one.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's quite the journey.
Congratulations, my friend. And what a full circle moment for you as well. I mean, I don't think anybody can help share this story and the trauma and the success that cancer can do than somebody that's going through it. So what a wonderful empowerment place to be in right now. Like full circle moment for you specifically.
Yes, I'm an empath by heart, and I just know what they're going through, and I just feel like this is my calling, and this is what the
Oh, it is
universe,
most definitely your calling.
the universe and God and all the things combined is what I was put on this earth to do, and I really do feel like I try to do it well, and just want to give back to the way so many came before me and gave back to me. So,
Yes, sister. Yes. All right. Last question. This is our
okay.
empowerment question. I like to end with like big positive empowerment. So for someone walking through cancer right now, as a patient, caregiver, or loved one, what is the most important message of hope or guidance you want them to hear today?
Okay, that is great. The message I can give is that you are not alone and that you are seen, you are loved, and you are heard by all of us here at Cancer Care Services.
That is a beautiful message. Thank you, Megan.
Thank
Thank you,
you
thank
so
you,
much,
thank you.
Lauren, for having me. And I just don't worry, an email is coming to you about all those dates coming up because you are ours forever, friend.
Well, it has been a full circle moment for us both. I love you so much. Thank you for getting on the pod with me.
Friend.
And guys,
Absolutely.
go ahead and connect with Cancer Care Services and all the things shared below. And I will definitely be having you back on, Megan, and maybe some patient or clients that we
Oh my
would love to get
gosh.
on and share the stories at one of the retreats. That would be fun.
Yes, they would. I have 3 or 4 right now that would just jump on this chance. They love the spotlight. What can I say? So,
Well, girl, thanks again for getting on here. And thank you, everybody, for listening to Get Enlightened with me, Lauren Scott. Thanks, Megan.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.